Hello, Stephen Wilson Jr. So nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, Chris.
So is this your first time at Pilgrimage?
This is, yeah.
So out of everybody today, who's an artist that you're most excited to watch that's on the lineup with you?
I'm excited to watch Noah Kahan. I haven't
Yeah?
got to see him live yet, so.
No, that's
I'm out
awesome. Now, I listened to
Fan.
your song, Son of Dad. What's the significance behind the spelling of son?
The Norwegian spelling is really cool. There's like a little bit more emphasis on the son-father relationship, just kind of built into the name of just kind of their naming system, which we kind of inherited. But also, like, as a recovering microbiologist, former scientist.
Are you ever a former scientist?
No, never. Yeah, like former professional scientist. I don't make money at it anymore. I just do it for free.
That's how I feel about stand-up
I'm a
comedy.
freelance scientist for free, literally. But no, like the line, you know, an O with a line through it means no solution, and I've always just loved that. There's really, like, the whole thing, my whole career, like I said, being a scientist before, I loved kind of breaking everything down. There seemed to be like math for everything, and with music there is no math, and with all grief and just the ride that I've kind of been on, there isn't no solution for it, and I'm conceded to that. Good with it.
Now, your lyrics are deeply personal, so I was curious, when you're writing songs, at what point do you kind of decide what parts of your story to share with an audience?
I just share as much as I want to. I'm not really here to pull punches or make. I don't think really like referee people's emotions. I think this song is just kind of free to do what it's supposed to be, and do what it's supposed to do, and be what it's supposed to be. If it's very personal, that's just the nature of it. That I try to subtract my own self from it, because in science we have user bias. You've probably heard about that.
Yep.
So the closer you are to your research, usually the more biased and the more corrupted it can kind of be. So I try to, as much as I try to insert my own emotions, my own experiences to kind of authenticate an idea, at that point I try to separate myself from it, because then it becomes more about me and not about the idea.
That's fascinating. So do you feel like your approach to science influences your songwriting?
Massively, yeah. Yeah, I would say everything from being a researcher to how, you know, even how I break all the ideas down.
Hypothesis and everything.
I'm really just trying to prove an idea. Like, in my experience, like, songs are these ideas. They're these concepts, these truths that kind of are floating around in the subconscious fabric of our culture, and our job as songwriters is to find them, kind of be excavators, paleontologists of sorts, and find them, and then like try to just kind of extract them out of that without messing up the idea, without getting too close to it, and just channel the idea at that point. So there is a bit of, you know, that's sort of the process of science. You know, it requires a lot of training and a lot of, I guess, academia, but at the end of the day, you really just are just trying to prove a truth, and get yourself out of the equation.
Now, I'm just taking a shot in the dark here, but as far as science goes, are you a Trekkie instead of a Star Wars fan?
Very much, in case you can't tell.
I didn't.
Science division.
I don't know how I came up with that, but now you've collaborated with a few artists at this point, but who would be a dream collaboration for you?
Dream collaboration.
You could just have anybody to collaborate with.
World to collaborate with. I would love to collaborate with Brandon Flowers. That'd be cool.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of his and the Killers. And
now, as a first-time headliner, is there anything that you've learned about yourself personally from that experience?
From just headlining?
Yeah, just
that I don't know. It's put me in like, my whole life has changed in the past year. Like 10 years ago, I was a scientist with a lab coat on that had never really sang a song for anybody ever, and really the thought of it would have given me a panic attack. Like, even like singing for 3 people in a backyard. So actually, 10 years later,
I would argue that singing for 3 people is almost harder than singing for a festival.
It can be, but just singing, period, and just that was like a whole just redefining of my existence, and my father's death, and just really uprooting my life and starting over has been really responsible for a lot of that. So when I'm up there headlining, it's really mind-blowing because that's really not something I really imagine myself doing.
Right.
I'd be lying if I said I've been dreaming of this moment my whole life, because I didn't even have the capacity to dream.
It's amazing how life kind of surprises you in that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my dreams outdreamt me.
I love that. Now, last question for you. But earlier I was talking to Better Than Ezra, and I asked them who is an artist that they love that they wish more people knew about, and they said you. That was both of their answers. So I'm going to toss that question to you. Who's an artist that you love that you would love more people to listen to?
Led Zeppelin. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's not
Who's that?
True. Yeah, who's them?
Led Zeppelin. I've never heard of them.
I mean, I can't stop listening to Led Zeppelin, and I sing their praises. I know they've been around for a long time. They're not a new artist, but I will always just scream it from the hills. But of a newer artist, let's see, an artist that I wish more people would listen to. I wouldn't say he's new, but David Bazan from Pedro the Lion. I wish more people would listen to him.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check him out because I've not heard of him before.
Love you, Pedro.
Well, thank you so much for your time, man. It was such a pleasure to meet you.
Chris. Appreciate it.
Thank you
so much.